Hi folks, welcome back. I finally am going to show you how to revamp this machine really quickly and how to sharpen a little differently than the number 2 video. What I have here is the way it came in the box. It had a cover on this side. It came with a flexible shaft, alright, and it's a variable speed. It's a 3-inch grinder. I got it at Harbor Freight for $28 with a 20% discount. Now, how did I revamp it? Well, I wanted to put a buffing wheel on it and these are mine, and a wooden wheel with a leather on it. So I had a power strop and a buffing wheel to do my dockyards and my knives. So how did I revamp it? Well, pretty simple. You just take, when you open up the box, you'll find you'll have the flexible shaft. Now you can use that at a later time if you want. I took the shaft, was not attached to it, so all I had was a plate, and I don't have the plate here now, but there was a plate over this end part that had 3 Phillips screws in it, small ones that you unscrew and you pull the plate off. Then on here, there was a little sleeve that went over here that the flexible shaft fit into. You pull the sleeve off, so now you have the cover off and you have the sleeve off. This is what it should look like. Okay, so the next thing I did was I opened up, this was already attached, this was already attached. All I did was unscrew it. It goes counterclockwise, and the machine runs counterclockwise when we run it. Okay, so it's important to remember you need the variable speed. You don't want the constant speed one. And you just want to take this wheel off. Okay, that comes right off, and there's a washer on the outside with a raised part, and this is a good grinding wheel, so you want to save that, so when you want to sharpen a tool later on or revamp a tool, you can use that. That's plenty thin enough or fine enough to do so. And then you do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now you have that one, and this one had the plate on. I took it off earlier, but there should be a plate on here after you take this nut off. Again, counterclockwise. And to get this wheel off, it's easier to put your 2 fingers behind it and push it off. There we go. So now you have 2 washers yet on the inside that look just like, and you want the raised part going on the inside portion. Okay. Now the 2 wheels I used were these 2, but I made new ones that I'm selling now. The leather wheels come in 2 different colors. It just happened to be the way the guy gave me the leather. There's a dark and a light. They're actually the same thing, they're just dyed a different color. With that being said, I had these custom made, so you can I had the wheel custom made, and I had the leather custom cut, and then all I did was glued it on, and I had to make the hole slightly bigger because it had to fit on the solid part of the shaft. It would go over the tread part, but it wouldn't go over the solid part, so I had to re-drill that a little bit. And I also, when I did these wheels, wherever it matched, was a little bit, it raised a little bit, I was able to file that off a little bit, so it was a better non-wobbly, it was a smoother turning on that. So what I did was I took the buffing wheel, and here's the buffing wheel. Now this one's not as thick as my original one. This is a much older one that I found out in the barn. This one here I think will fluff out after a while. You can see how much mine has fluffed out since I've used it. It's almost twice the size, but it seems a little thicker in the middle, maybe by 1/8 of an inch or so. But if it's the good wheel, I've already used it and tried one of these, and they work just fine. So on the right side here, on the video number 2, I have the strop wheel on the left. I'm going to put the strop wheel on the right. So it goes right over top. You take your washer, put it back over top. And I found a little lock washer in the barn. This is a little rusty. I couldn't find any new ones, but and I didn't have time to go buy new ones. But you want 2 of these little lock washers. Just put it over top, and then clockwise, you want to put the nut back on. You just want to hand tighten it, kinda. There you go. That's one. And then the buffing wheel, you have the one washer in there already. Take the buffing wheel, slide it over top. I had to redo the hole in the buffing wheel because that didn't fit right either. So there's a little bit of work getting these things to fit right. And then I take the original washer, put it back on top with the raised part on the outside. And then I take 3 washers because this thing that has, the thread only goes so far, and then it's smooth again. So you want to make sure you put at least 3 of these washers, and then you want to put a little lock. If you put a lock washer on, you don't need 3. If you don't use a lock washer, then you need 3 of these on there. And clockwise, I put that on. Alright, so I kind of hand tighten them. Whoops, there we go. Now it's got to go in a little further, so make sure it's in there nice and tight. Okay, good. So that's how that's done. Now it's ready to go. Okay, now this is rated at 5,000 RPM for the wheel, and I wouldn't go much faster than that. The machine actually goes up to now the rattling you hear is from the plate and the top. There you go. That's up to 10,000 right there. Whenever you use one of these, you want to make sure that you have eye protection on and not to run it faster than what it's designed to do with the buffing wheel at 5,000. Okay, and you can put your compound on here as well. The big thing was the other 2 little other tricks I did, and what you've been waiting to know is how do you reverse this? Folks, it's so simple. I ran across this completely by accident. This is how you reverse it. Turn it upside down, and because it's got metal casing on both of these wheels, take the cord and put it right behind it, and now you have it going in the opposite direction. Much easier to do your polish, no, I mean your sharpening and all. And the other trick is I use an old box that I had from what I had stuff shipped in, and I place it inside the box, a very small box. This keeps it from moving around. I put the cord back behind that one wheel, and this is how I have it. Now you can see that the wheel is going in the opposite direction right now, and this is how I end up doing it. Now if it still is rotating or it's still moving a lot, what you want to do is just put a little piece of rubber underneath it. I didn't have time to, like the liners that they use in shelving, rubber lining. You can use one of those to put on here, and it will keep it from sliding around. But because it's cased underneath, it's a great way of doing it. If you're interested in these wheels, and you can purchase them. I'm selling them. I only have a limited amount because I have to make them, and it's taken a little bit of time to revamp the buffing wheel and to do the wheel. So if you're interested in the set, they're $17 for the power strop, and it's $13 for the buffing wheel. It's $3 if you order these separate. There's $3.50 to ship them anywhere in the U.S. If you combine the two, it's $5.50 for the shipping. So if you're interested in that, just email me at the Carverswoodshop at yahoo.com. Thanks for joining, and I hope this has been a great help to many of you that want a nice, neat little sharpening machine instead of a $400 one. You can probably put this together for less than 65 bucks. Okay, folks, take care and have fun carving. Keep at it. We'll have a new video soon. Bye-bye.